The goal today is Lake Placid. This would stop a drunken frat boy who thinks there's beer in here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, now it's guaranteed not to rain. Okay, I'm in Lake Placid, New York, which was the site for the 1980 Winter Olympics. He's an original urban monk. His name is Bob. I want to be good, sir.
Good. Good.
Well, it's day 14 in the morning, and I'm out walking my friend's dog, because that's what dogs like to do in the morning, is go out and walk and look at that kind of thing happen and empty the bladder, you know. And it's kind of a change of pace for me. Look at all those birds. What are we going to do about that? They're going to keep doing their thing regardless of what you want to do. Had a great time visiting with old friends. Certain people in your life that are just those special friends, usually you meet them early in life. It's not always the case, but I find it's harder to connect with, you know, super good friends, you know, at a later stage in life. What's this saying? I thought it was a cool slug or something. Anyways, today is what I call terminus day, meaning I'm going to reach the final destination on my plan before I turn around and head home. And that destination is Jay's Oyster Bar in Portland, Maine. I'm actually going to go a little bit further north than that because there's been so much rain, and I have spent so much time with my friends that I don't want to be worried about setting up a camp tonight, so I again got a hotel room. Trust me, there'll be more camping. So, you know, on to Portland, Maine today. But first, I did want to show one big scene from here in Lake Placid. One big hit, you know, one really cool spot that's got some great history, and we're going to try to hit that this morning after breakfast, and I'll share it with you. Just real quick, if I could make a breakfast recommendation in Lake Placid, the Dancing Bears restaurant, at least for breakfast. Good?
Fantastic.
Excellent? Nice. So this is pretty much the typical Lake Placid scene, you know. It's very upstate resorty vacation community with old architecture and a history of Olympic greatness and athleticism, as well as fly fishing and the great outdoors and lakes.
Practice 6 years ago. She's only been there for a couple of years.
We are approaching the Olympic Arena in Lake Placid. It is a U.S. Olympic team training center. But to me, as a young 10-year-old watching TV in the 1980s, the big thing was the 1980 hockey competition here in the Winter Olympics. And it was a time in our country when kind of just the sentiment, you know, the Iran hostage crisis had happened. The Ayatollah Khomeini had, you know, taken all of the people working at the U.S. Embassy at the time in Tehran hostage. And we had kind of been working through that. Nixon had happened, Watergate. You know, just Americans weren't feeling real good about themselves at the time. And then this hockey game happened, and a bunch of players, some of them from North Dakota and Minnesota, many of them actually, were on this team, and they were not favored to do very well in the Olympics that year. And it was in this building. Okay, I'm sorry, we just went inside and asked the gal at the information desk if we could go in and view the ice, and it's under construction for World College, was it?
World University.
World University Games, whatever that is. But essentially, this is where, and we're going to clear up the misconception here, the U.S. underdog hockey team with Jim Craig in the goaltending position and Minnesotans who went to North Dakota State, or not North Dakota State, University of North Dakota. Hey, your alma mater,
UND.
UND.
Yeah, man.
Dave Christian was a UND hockey player from War Road, Minnesota.
Yeah.
But anyways, he played in here with the rest of the U.S. hockey team, 1980, with Al Michaels being the commentator on national television at the time. And in that building, they beat the Russians, which they were not supposed to be able to do. Sorry, they beat the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And they were not favored to do so, but that did not win them the gold. They went on after that game. Okay, so then that was when, sorry, back up, when Al Michaels said the famous phrase, "Do you believe in miracles?" It happened in this building.
Petrov with it. The Americans on top, 4-3. Long shot. Craig able to get a piece of it to sweep it away. 28 seconds. The crowd going insane. Flanagan is there. The puck is still loose. 11 seconds. You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Which is so much smaller than you would think, given the gravity of that moment in the United States and how many people got rallied around that. So there you go. That's where that all went down, and that was a big deal on television here in the United States at the time.
Well, especially with the Cold War.
Yeah, and the Cold War was still
It's a
raging.
huge deal to beat them.
We were still doing, you know, drills, get under the desk, so when the nuke goes off. When we were in North Dakota, I talked about the number of missile sites that were there in the Cold War and all that.
I distinctly remember in grade school growing up, my mother on Wednesdays PBS to teach us Russian because she was so convinced that we would be taken over. And so my sisters and brother and I had to watch an hour's worth of Russian instruction
Wow.
on PBS. Which is horrible.
Has that served you well?
Niet.
This is where they dump the ice from the Zamboni that resurfaces Olympic ice. Passing through a little village of Wadham. I don't even know if I'm in Vermont or New York anymore. I may have crossed the border and I came across this waterfall. So right now I'm headed east toward Lake Champlain, and I'm gonna have to take a ferry across that. It's a little out of my way, but Anders at Around on a Bike has inspired me to pick up on every little ferry I can, because they're really fun. So that's where we're headed, is the town of Essex, to cross Lake Champlain on a ferry. Had to stop and grab this bridge. You know, it's so old, it very well may be a WPA bridge from FDR's New Deal back in the Great Depression, when they put people to work. It seems like it's old enough to be. A lot of times they have a plaque that will say they are, but that's only if somebody with a historical sense has bothered to put one there. Hello.
Hey. It was 7:50.
Okay.
Man, what a day for a ride.
Oh yeah, it's I'm having a hard time getting where I'm going because everything is just so cool, and I'm stopping and taking pictures and wasting my whole day away having a really good time.
Where are you coming from?
Today or originally?
Yeah, I just, if you haven't checked out Whiteface Mountain where they had the Olympics, 1980,
Yeah.
1932 as well, you can pull right in the parking lot and look up and just imagine somebody, a skier, just bombing that.
Oh God, yeah.
Even
I should have.
For people that have been out west, it's still impressive to me. So,
Yeah. I was in Lake Placid last night and went to the Olympic arena where that hockey game was played that we all watched as kids, and Al Michaels and the whole thing, you know, and was really struck by it. But I guess I got a reason to come back now.
Well, if you didn't do that, I don't know where you're going in Vermont. There's Stowe over there. Stowe is pretty cool. Killington.
Okay.
I would just check out one of the ski resorts. You can even take a gondola ride up. They're
Okay.
not too bad. If you want to take a gondola ride up, it's
Yeah.
$20. Just some amazing views if you want to check stuff out. So,
Sounds good, man. Hey,
head all the way down Lane 4 for now. Hang on to that boarding pass. You'll just have to hand that to them before you get out.
okay. Is there a head on the ferry, or should I go before?
There is, and right down there to the left as well.
Thank you.
Have a good-
Take care. So a very cool little old school kind of drop platform bridge here, cantilevered with, or counterweighted, excuse me, with these big blocks of concrete through those pulleys up there on both sides, so that hand crank is good enough with all the help from gravity there. Although now I do see there are a couple of electric winches up there, so perhaps for emergencies only. And here comes my ride. Thanks, Anders, for the inspiration. Yeah, smaller the better. Look at this one. Pretty small. Smaller than the ones I was on before, called the Grand Isle of Burlington, Vermont. This guy that's taking the tickets looks so much like John Belushi.
I don't mean to be that guy.
Oh my God, it's John Belushi. That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, what song have I got in my head? Don't pay the ferryman. Don't even fix a price. Don't pay the ferryman until he gets you to the other side. I don't have that melody right, but I like that door. I want that in my house. So, crossing Lake Champlain, then I'm in Vermont, or maybe I already am in Vermont. I don't know. It's like I don't even care anymore. It's just, I'm in America, and this is a beautiful country. Nothing against Europe. I've actually been to Europe when I was younger, and it's so beautiful there. But it's not any less beautiful here. Fair amount of torque at work there, I would imagine. Yeah, I don't know, guys. If you own a motorcycle, like any motorcycle, that's the one to get on and do this. You get a small tent, put about $400 or $500 in your pocket, and a national parks annual pass, and a sleeping bag, and go. Granted, I am getting some hotel rooms here and there for showers, and that is costing a bit more than $400 or $500, but honestly not a lot more. You know, I'm getting cheap rooms, and I am so glad I did this before it's my turn to lay in one of those cemeteries, which should come soon enough. Oh, what's in here? I want to go down there so bad. The weather is unbelievably amazing. Let's check this out. Oh, busy. Ooh, tight. But hey, it's got what you need. Well, even heat. I suppose it gets really cold up here. cool. Is Rusty still in the Navy? I better hop on the bike and hold the brake. Found this great little place. I'm good, how are you? This place has tone. That, you know, by tone, I mean like exactly that. And all of it. I hope to God this is never a chain that you can find everywhere in America. Because what makes this great is that you can't. This place is in Middlesex, Vermont, which I don't know if it's a sister village to Middlesex, England. I imagine Middlesex in England is much bigger. Thank you, trusty steed, for bringing me to this awesome place. I just may have had the best burger I've ever had in my life, and they had a gluten-free bun for me. I literally took an exit off the freeway and drove 1 mile off my path to find this little town of, it's not even a town, it's a village or less of Middlesex in Vermont, and it's unbelievable. And then this burger and a little spinach salad, I can't believe it. I'm in heaven right now. Seriously, the best burger I've ever had. They call it the Dalrymple. I just stopped for a rest stop break and I'm reflecting on that burger in Middlesex. Honest to God, I mean, I've eaten at like Gordon Ramsay's burger joint in Las Vegas and thought that was an amazing burger. That was the best burger I have had in my life. So if you're ever in Vermont, you gotta go to Middlesex off the highway off of 89 and go to the filling station and have the Dalrymple burger. Unbelievable. It's almost a shame that my final destination today is Jay's Oyster Bar in Portland, which is a really, really cool, unique place. But I don't know that the food's gonna beat that burger. Oh, there it is.
The new chair has started cohorting people. So now of the 11 TD, 11 cardiac, and 11 ICU, and then
Good job.
Okay, I just had a great bouillabaisse at Jay's Oyster Bar. I call it Jay's Oyster Bar. It's Jay's Oyster. I don't know. But it's here in the harbor in Portland where all the fishing boats are with all their fishing lines. This is where the fish are caught, and the stuff they're serving at Jay's Oyster is so fresh. You know, you can get bouillabaisse in just about any restaurant in the country, and they all say fresh fish. They all say, you know, day before catch or something to that effect, but it's really good here. Plus, you're listening to seagulls, you smell the ocean. Yeah. So I gotta go dip my feet in the Atlantic Ocean, and of course this water technically is the Atlantic Ocean, but it's not really oceanside. It's the harbor. So I may do that in the morning, but I made it to my destination. Now I just gotta turn around and go home. But I've got more fun plans in the works on the way home. I will tell you this, that, you know, there's no trumpet fanfare here at the end of one's goal. There's a good bowl of bouillabaisse, but the sense of satisfaction that I feel from getting here one day at a time, 350 to 375 miles a day, through what I was reminded is a beautiful country. This is an amazing country, and while I did set my sights on going to Canada originally, I am glad that I got stuck here in the US, so to speak. There's a lot to see here, and if you can, before you're dead, get on a motorcycle, or do it in your car, I don't care, but go see this country and stop flying over all of it. And I'm not pointing fingers, I've flown over it many times too, but going slower and seeing each little nuance and seeing the changes in culture, but the one thing that's the same is people are all generous and good and helpful for the most part. They're all the same. It's really interesting. So there you go, Jay's Oyster. I made it. Got to get to my hotel. Now I got to get to where I'm staying tonight. Okay, I'm in my hotel for the night. Couple of reasons I didn't do a hotel. One, it obviously got late, and I knew it would. Two, long day in the saddle again. Pretty big distance today. Pretty big time in the saddle, not necessarily great distance, but I saw a lot. And
I did need to do some interstate. That's the thing I wanted to talk about on the return is I took more days getting here than I will getting home. And I still there's no way you're going to cross America in 25 days and take all the back roads. You've got to use interstate to do that, and to me that's fine. I've had a lot of both types of things, and both types of roads, and the V-Strom's perfectly happy on the interstate. So you will see in future episodes that I'm doing some interstate riding, but we're still gonna stop and see cool stuff along the way. And yeah, I really expect the return to be as fun as the ride out. And I can't believe I'm here. It's kind of surreal and uneventful on some levels. It's like, great, here I am. It's just another day riding, but I did reach a goal, and that was to do a cross-country motorcycle trip. I just did it diagonally, so coast to coast. I gotta drop my toe in the ocean just to kind of make it official, but I was right there, so we're good. That's it for this episode, and tomorrow we begin the return home.